Family, today we have a beautiful story to cover, one that speaks to creativity, joy, legacy, and the power of music. Meghan, our Duchess of Sussex, has once again shown the world how authenticity and artistry can meet in the most natural of ways. Meghan has followed in the footsteps of King Charles with her latest move, releasing her very own carefully curated playlist in connection with her Netflix project with Love Meghan. And of course, as always, the media is trying to spin it into something it's not, but here at Royal Sussex Squad we will unpack the truth and celebrate Meghan's brilliance, while also holding accountable those who attempt to belittle her efforts. Now let's get into it. When Meghan shared her playlist on Instagram, 19 songs featuring iconic artists like Stevie Wonder and Whitney Houston, she wasn't just putting out a list of tracks. She was inviting people into her creative process, giving them a glimpse of the kind of joy and energy that carried her through the filming of Season 2 of With Love, Meghan. She explained that music kept the vibe alive on set, that between takes she would play songs from her phone, creating an atmosphere of celebration, connection and positive energy. And what really warmed hearts was how personal she made this post. It wasn't just about the music, it was about family. Alongside her playlist, Meghan shared photographs of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet on set, as well as a tender photo of her with Prince Harry. This is what sets Meghan apart. For her, it's not about the superficial, it's about weaving love, family and togetherness into everything she touches. Now, the British tabloids, desperate as ever, try to draw comparisons between Meghan's playlist and King Charles's earlier project, The King's Music Room, which was launched in partnership with Apple Music. But let's be real, this isn't competition, it's harmony. Both Meghan and Charles are showing their appreciation for the power of music. They're demonstrating that music is more than entertainment, it's a force that heals, inspires and unites. Charles's playlist showcased his lifelong musical interests, featuring artists like Bob Marley, Kylie Minogue, Grace Jones, Davido and Ray. He spoke about how music lifts spirits, evokes memories and comforts us in times of sadness. Meghan too expressed something similar, how music helped keep the energy high during filming, how it brought joy, and how she wanted to share that joy with her audience. Now let's pause here and highlight something very important. Whenever Meghan does something positive, innovative or heartfelt, the press will bend over backwards to frame it as either imitation, opportunism or attention-seeking. But notice how they never extend the same critique to others in the royal family. When Charles releases a playlist, he's praised as cultured, refined and relatable. When Meghan does it, suddenly it's copying. But here's the truth. Meghan isn't copying anyone. Meghan is walking her own path, embracing creativity, and yes, if her actions align with the King's appreciation for music, then it only underscores the fact that music is a universal language of connection. And isn't it ironic that the same people who claim Meghan is out for herself and attention-hungry are the same ones breathlessly reporting on every little move she makes? They cannot have it both ways. Either Meghan is irrelevant or she is significant enough to drive headlines and public conversations with the simplest of gestures. And clearly, it's the latter. Let's also recognise the deeper significance here. Meghan's playlist, shared in connection with her Netflix project, isn't just about music, it's about creating a holistic experience for her audience. She's not only giving us a documentary or a lifestyle program, she's giving us the mood, the soundtrack, the energy behind it all. She's letting fans step into her world, and in doing so, she's building intimacy and authenticity. This is why people resonate with Meghan. She gives them more than content, she gives them connection. And of course, seeing Archie and Lilibet in those behind-the-scenes moments is a reminder of what truly grounds Meghan and Harry: family. Let's not forget the sacrifices they made to protect that family, to step away from the toxic environment of the royal machinery, and to carve out a life where their children can thrive. Those photos weren't PR, they were love. They were Meghan showing that her creative life and her family life are not in conflict but in harmony. Now let's address the critics who will inevitably try to downplay this. They'll say things like, "Oh, it's just a playlist. Who cares?" Well, clearly they care because it made headlines. Clearly it matters because it reflects cultural influence. When Meghan does something as simple as sharing a playlist, it goes viral. Why? Because people are invested in her taste, in her perspective, in her journey. That's influence, whether her detractors want to admit it or not. Meanwhile, let's remember that Meghan's playlist featured legends like Stevie Wonder and Whitney Houston. These are artists whose music represents resilience, hope, joy, and liberation. Stevie Wonder's songs are about vision beyond sight, about believing in love and humanity. Whitney Houston's music is about power, voice, and emotion. These are not random picks, they're deliberate. Meghan's playlist reflects who she is, a woman of vision, strength, and heart. And Harry being right by her side in these projects shows what true partnership looks like. He's not threatened by her success. He's not resentful of her spotlight. He celebrates it, stands with her, and together they create something beautiful. Compare that to the dynamics we see elsewhere, where ego, jealousy, and rivalry often dominate the narrative. Harry and Meghan model what a modern, supportive marriage looks like. So yes, Meghan followed in Charles's footsteps in the sense that they both recognized the power of music. But she also carved her own lane, making it about creativity, family, and shared joy, and that's the difference. Family, what we're seeing here is Meghan continuing to thrive despite the noise, continuing to bring light, joy, and creativity to the world, and continuing to silence her critics not with words but with actions. Every time she shares her voice, whether through a playlist, a project, or a heartfelt post, she's reminding the world that she will not be silenced, she will not be boxed in, and she will not be diminished. And that's why we support her. That's why the Sussex Squad exists, because we see through the smear campaigns, the false narratives, and the hypocrisy. We see Meghan for who she truly is, a woman of grace, talent, and resilience. So let the media chatter. Let the tabloids spin their tired stories. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry are out here living their truth, raising their beautiful children, creating impactful projects, and yes, sharing the music that keeps them going. And that, family, is something worth celebrating. Meghan Markle follows King Charles with her latest move. The Duchess of Sussex shared the important influence music had when filming her latest project with Netflix. Meghan Markle has followed in King Charles's footsteps by releasing a bespoke playlist. The Duchess of Sussex shared her selection of songs for Season 2 of With Love, Meghan on Netflix. Meghan's 19 songs include hits from Stevie Wonder.
It was a fairy tale moment.
The American actress shared her playlist as part of an
Instagram
dedicated to the second series of her lifestyle.
With so
Meghan's
many
19 songs include
Me
hits
Too
from
and
Stevie
Time's
Wonder
Up,
and Whitney Houston.
there is no better
Vertical Bar
time than
Instagram.
to really continue to
Other
shine a
pictures
light
that
on
featured in the social
women
media post
feeling
included
empowered.
Prince Archie and
Unprecedented
Princess
words from a
Lilibet
royal,
on
but soon the
production
headlines
set,
were less
as well
about
as a
change
photograph
and more
alongside her
about
husband,
challenges.
Meghan captioned the
Claim
Instagram
dress
post.
drama to bullying
Filming Season 2 of
accusations
With Love,
fueling a royal
Meghan was more
rift.
fun than you can imagine.
Harry and Meghan were
Part of how we kept the vibe alive, music.
On the freedom
Between
flight.
setups I would play a
That
song from
freedom
my phone,
flight
and today
led to an
I wanted to
explosive
share some
Oprah
of the
sit-down.
favourites I kept on rotation.
About how dark
Add them to
your
your
baby is going to
playlist,
be?
press
And
shuffle
what that
and
would mean or
enjoy.
look like. I wouldn't want to be alive
Other
anymore.
pictures that featured in the
Alleged
social
days
media post
later.
include Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet,
The drama playing out in the press
as well as a photograph alongside her husband, Prince
and on live TV.
We don't know any of the details, but we've said
It follows
how they
King
said it.
Charles
You
launching
continue
a
to
personal music
trash her.
playlist
Okay,
called The
I'm
King's
done with this.
Music
No,
Room
sorry.
in
Do you know what?
partnership
That's
with
pretty
Apple
good.
Music
Maybe not
earlier
my
this year.
No.
See you later.
The playlist
being-
displayed the King's musical interests throughout his life.
Public
It
opinion
features music from
nosedived,
Commonwealth
polls
countries,
showing Harry and
including
Meghan's
tracks
popularity
by
in
Bob
Britain
Marley,
at an all-time
Kylie
low,
Minogue,
but the couple
and
kept
Grace
telling their
Jones.
story, painting
The King was
themselves as
photographed at
victims of the
Buckingham
palace
for the
machine.
music project,
Harry's
with an
memoir Spare
on-air
became the
sign on the
fastest-selling
desk of the
non-fiction
royal
book of all
DJ
time,
The King
but
said,
their
"So
multi-million
this is
dollar
what I
deals hit
particularly
snags.
wanted to share.
Testing 1, 2.
Songs which have brought me joy.
Their Spotify
Throughout
contracts
my
was
life,
canned
music
after
has meant
just
a great
one
deal to
season
me.
of
I
Meghan's
know that it's
Archetypes
also the case
podcast,
for so many
and
others.
most of their Netflix
The
shows
monarch continued.
rated poorly.
But perhaps above all, it can lift our
Beyond
spirits to such a
any
degree.
differences,
And all the more so when
here
it brings us together
at
in
the
celebration.
Invictus Games,
In other words,
we are
it brings us
grounded
joy.
in mutual respect,
It has that remarkable
but
ability
believing
to
in
bring
one
happy
another.
memories
The
flooding
Invictus
back from the
Games, Prince
deepest
Harry's
recesses of our
Paralympic-style
memory,
competition
to
for
comfort
injured
us in
veterans
times of
continues
sadness,
to flourish.
and to take us to
We all
distant
have a lot of
places.
stuff to do, but
And
The
Meghan's
full
filmed
choice of
2
tracks
series of
includes contributions from Nigerian-American
It's with mixed
singer-songwriter
reviews.
Davido
Her sell
and
jams
British
and other products.
singer-songwriter Ray.
She's also launched an online
Before we
clothing
wrap up,
page,
let me
but it's
remind
too
you,
early to
if you
see
enjoyed
if
this
these
channel,
ventures
if you
are
value
successes.
the positive space we
Throughout
create
all
here
the
to
drama,
uplift
the
Harry
royal
and
families
Meghan
remain
and expose
silent.
the nonsense from their detractors, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and if you'd like to support the channel further, drop a super thanks. Every bit of support helps keep Royal Sussex Squad going strong. Harry and Meghan deserve our support, and together we make sure their story is told with the truth and the love it deserves. Until next time, family, stay blessed, stay positive, and keep the music alive.